Hey guys, how's it going? And girls, everyone, welcome to the stream. Here's a video that I didn't even know existed. I think it's got about 2,000 views or something like that. It's 40 minutes long, and I've condensed it down. Well, not really condensed it, but I've just kind of skipped forwards to kind of the parts that I think are relevant to the channel and interesting. So if you want to go watch the full interview, it's with George Lucas and Melody Hobson. If you don't know who Melody Hobson is, that's George Lucas's wife. So the lady sitting next to him and she's actually, helming the interview. She just she's being interviewed. She brought her husband, George Lucas, in, and there's some pretty cool stuff that he says about Star Wars. I haven't watched the entire thing. I've watched maybe about 80% of it. There's this part here that I want to talk about, and then we're going to jump to, I think, 47. Shout out to Durasteel Potato for sending me this video because I didn't know about it, and it's yeah, so go check it out. You can watch the full thing. Hey chat, how are you all doing? You're all rushing in now. There's 1,500 of you here in 60 seconds. Cool. What's up? What's going on? How's your Sunday? All right, so let's get to watching this. Let me know if the audio is coming through and if everything's good, and we can begin.
George Lucas, can you share the same? I mean, it's so beautiful. I didn't know that fear was the dark side, but
I've linked it down below, so you can go watch the full thing if you like.
it resonates with me in terms of my own experience. Can you talk about where you got your wisdom from, going from, where were you at the age of 12 that got you to this point where you're saying such things now?
Well, it came from my experience in college, and I became very...
And this is, I'm not going to pause it after this, but I think this is the latest interview online with George Lucas. This is from October 16th, 2020. So just about a year ago. And yeah, George looks great. I mean, he looks like another year added on, and he looks skinnier, if anything. I hope he's still eating a lot. And yeah, let's get to it.
Very, very fascinated in anthropology. And I became very interested in how societies govern themselves, grow, become something. You can't really have a society unless you have a common belief system. And then there are people who are very greedy or afraid. The thing about people who are greedy is that they fear. Their whole soul is drenched in fear. And first of all, they're afraid they're not going to get, afraid they're not going to get all the things they want: power, wealth, fame, and they'll do anything to get it. Then when they get it, they're afraid they're going to lose it. So they live in fear their whole life. So remember that about people who are not nice. They live in fear. Fear is not a happy thing to live with. You're always afraid that somebody's going to take your stuff away from you. And it's the same thing with your life. And it's the same thing with the people you love. You have to understand that the reality of nature and God and life is that things come and things go. They do not stay in your life. And you have to learn to accept the fact that it is a continuum that you're just a part of, and the things will be there and then they won't be there. So enjoy them and love them while they're there, and then be happy that they've gone someplace else. But you have to decide that you can't hold on to people, because the pain of losing somebody or losing something is your pain. It's not the pain of, that person. It's your pain of losing that person being with you. And you have to be able to overcome that. Otherwise, you just suffer your whole life.
So beautiful.
At Ariel, I had a colleague who told me they were leaving, and I was so devastated. And George looked at me and he said, well, first of all, Melody, there are over 300 million Americans. If you found her, there's another one. Secondly, Jedi don't hold on. And he's like, and you're a Jedi master, so you don't hold on. And I just shifted. And when I sent her note, goodbye and good
Stream
luck,
does this
have a good
sometimes.
life, My subject
Craps
matter
out.
with Jedi, don't hold on. I cannot hold on to you. And I learned that from George.
It is something you also learn with your children, because there is a point in your life where you have to let them go and be on their own. And it's a very hard thing to do. You're starting to reach that period. And it's a great consternation from your parents that you're going to be off to college, you're going to be having your own life, you're going to have your own house, and you will constantly hear, why don't you call me more? Why don't you come home for this function or that function? And it's, you know, it's a natural thing, but the more you hold on, the more painful it is.
He's going to talk about
And if you just
the
let
sequels
people go, as I say,
and
if
Star
you
Wars in a
hold
bit.
on to if you have a bird in
Just
your
wait for it.
hand and you hold it too tight because you don't want it to go and fly, eventually you'll crush it. So the important part is to let it go and fly off and be on its own. It'll come back, and the love will be even stronger.
Amazing, amazing.
We're going to go to.
Let me ask you both this. I mean, I'm sorry to cut in, but does a particular world faith connect to
There are like
your understandings of things? And I mean, Melody, you mentioned Jesus.
there are like a few fans, or not fans. They're like they're interviewing like a whole classroom of kids, right? Or actually, the classroom is interviewing George. I mean, that's so freaking cool. And I think there are a few interviewers. Like, there's the classroom teacher, and then there's the bald guy who's talking. And he's like, in the beginning, he was just like losing his mind, man. He was just like, George, like, I'm such a fan of your work. He's just, just like a true Star Wars fan. So it's funny that he like cut her off just now, and he's like, oh wait.
And then both of you were talking about this notion of non-attachment and things passing, and that resonates with Buddhism. Do you follow a particular faith, or did you come on these understandings independently? It's wonderfully update and lyrical, and also deep and feels ancient.
Well, you got to remember, I'm from California. I'm from San Francisco. You know, the Zen Buddhism capital of the United States. But at the same time, in my study of anthropology, which is basically the study of different religions and different ways of thinking of things, my kids ask me, what are we? What am I? I said, well, we're Methodist Buddhists. Which
that's cool.
And you discover in anthropology that, there's, one way, which I've said, which is when I was about, 7 years old, the age of my daughter, I asked my mother, if there's so many different religions, why is there only one God? And she couldn't answer that. But if there's only one God, you realize that the religions are a manifestation of man or woman, but it's man. But the God is still there. It's just we don't know what it is or what it looks like or what it is. But the one thing it has constantly done, and in all religions, is God is love.
Beautiful.
For me, I grew up, my mother was Pentecostal. And so I used to I was one of those kids.
So if you want to
all day on
hear the whole thing,
everything.
I can
When I
skip
started school, very
to the
Buddhism,
Star
pieces of
Wars centric
different
parts. Where is it?
Um,
40.
the
He starts talking
deeply
about the sequels. He starts talking about the wills, which you didn't know. That was essentially what Star Wars was based upon, was the Journal of the Wills. And there were supposed to be these like deity-like figures, these god-like figures in the galaxy that were watching Star Wars on a TV. So they were basically watching the events of the Skywalkers on this sort of, television or something, and they're watching the files of them. And that's why Star Wars says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, because for the deities, for the wills that are watching, this happened so long ago. So let me try to get to that part right here. I think it's 43.
Because I'm a son of a preacher man, a Methodist preacher, but I got a meditation practice. And
he briefly touches on the sequels. Coming up for a title for this video, I'm like, you know what? What's going to be something that's going to get most people to be like, oh my God, I need to see that. And I'm glad that you're all here, because there's a good message in this whole thing that George is talking about, or well, George and Melody are talking about here.
You both spark of the divine. It's like this is why everyone loves Melody Hobson, and one of my heroes has chosen well by getting you to go be his partner. I've got you guys are it's just amazing. But I got Jeremiah Camacho, one of our 8th graders, who has a question about Star Wars. So we'll go from the sublime to the sublime.
Cool background, Jeremiah.
Well, thank you. My name is Jeremiah. I'm in the 7th grade, and I really like Star Wars. So my question for you is, the world has changed so much since the first Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fights for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward?
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy. And I think that philosophy sort of goes beyond any particular time, because it's based on history, it's based on philosophy, it's based on a lot of things. And the first 3 basically tell you how a democracy turns into a dictatorship, and you end up with a tyrant, the emperor. It's a very important now, where we are now in our political history. The other part was that in there, it's like, I purposely, all of the various colors and shapes of the aliens and everything that live in that world, it's a normal situation. There's no real discrimination. The only discrimination is against robots. And we haven't really reached that period yet.
Isn't that cool?
And I'm sure the robots will be able to overcome it because they don't have the same feelings. But it really shows you in terms of the way the politics are and the way things are, how to fight those ideas. And a lot of it really has to do with overcoming fear. The thing that brought, and also the movies, the thing with Anakin is that he started out a great kid. He was very compassionate. So the issue is how did he turn bad? How did he go to the dark side? And he went to the dark side by, the Jedis are not supposed to have attachments. They can love people, they can do it, but they can't attach. That's the problem when you get in the world of fear. Once you're attached to something, then you become afraid of losing it. And when you became afraid of losing it, then you turn to the dark side and you want to hold on to it. And that's what Anakin's issue was ultimately, is he wanted to hold on to his wife, who he knew he had a premonition that she was going to die. He didn't know how to stop it. So he went to the dark side to find, in mythology and everything, they go to Hades and you talk to the devil and the devil says, this is what you do. And basically you sell your soul to the devil. When you do that, then you're afraid and you're on the dark side and you fall off the golden path of compassion because you are greedy. You want to hold on to something that you love, and he didn't do it. And as a result, he turned bad.
So the thing about that is, George, you're saying with the movies, there's the time, it's not of a time, but the lessons are timeless, right?
Yeah, they're timeless. They've been around for thousands of years. They're based on ancient mythology. Mythology was designed ultimately to give a society the tools they need to be a society, which means they have to have a common belief system. They have to believe in the same gods. They have to believe who their leaders are. They have to believe what their history is. They have to believe who their heroes are. Those are the things that combine to make a society. If you don't have those things, then you don't have a society. The interesting thing that we're going through now is the United States was a conglomerate of a lot of different ideas and things, and it was the first beginning of globalization where we began to respect other people who look differently, who think differently, who have different gods. But at the end, you have to have that cohesion. And we were beginning to get it for the whole world. We now split apart, but I think we'll get there someday. But that is the most important thing, is that you respect other people, you respect what they're doing, and you realize that we're part of a symbiotic relationship, meaning that we all help each other. That's the ecology of what we're in. If you take some of the gears out of the watch, it won't work anymore. And taking some of the gears out of the world means it won't work anymore. We know that from extinction of animals. We know it from global warming. We know that we have to all be one in order to go forward. A lot of people don't like that idea. They hate it and they're fighting against it. But we have to do that in order to survive on this planet. And there's only two ways to survive in the world. One is to adapt, which is to, if you're a fish, you grow legs and you get on land, or you migrate. And migrating for us, adapting is, we got a lot of adapting to do, but we are trying to do it. But the other one is to migrate. And if you're living in a pond and the pond is drying up and you're going to die with it, you have to learn to migrate to another pond. What we're trying to do now is to migrate to another planet. And you say, well, what's that going to do? Because the sun's going to go away pretty soon, a couple million years. And now we only have a couple million years to figure out how to get from our planets, which we will soon be on Mars and some of the other planets, to another galaxy. Not another galaxy, I'm sorry, to another solar system. One that's not dying. And that's a hard thing to do. Right now, it's completely impossible because you have to go faster than the speed of light. But unless we figure out how to do that, we're not going to survive, because eventually this sun is going to go out, our planet's going to die, and everything with it. So you have to think long term. So it's like far, far away in a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago. This is the long, long time ago. And we have to go and catch up so that we can so the humans especially can survive. The planet will survive. Eventually it'll blow up and there's just a bunch of rocks, but at the same time, it will not survive. And you have to understand that. And that's part of letting go.
George.
But at the same time, we don't have to, people say, well, let's talk about it. That's millions of years away. It's like the grasshopper and the ant, where the grasshopper is collecting, the ants are collecting food for the winter, and the grasshopper doesn't do it. And therefore, when the snow comes, the grasshopper has to come and ask for help because he was making fun of them.
A bug's life.
But it's that you have to prepare for the future. And that's basically what humankind can do, as opposed to a lot of other life forms. You only allow the life forms that can go through, can fly through space and survive on all kinds of strange worlds, are microorganisms.
Here we go.
Everywhere. And there are trillions of them. They outnumber humans, and even in your body, there's more microorganisms than there are human cells.
Midichlorians kind of thing.
So you got to say, and that's where the idea of the secret, that's where the idea of the wills come from. The wills are microorganisms, and they help create the energy, which is what mitochondria do, which are in your cells. That's the energy that makes your cells divide, which makes life. And they feed on life. That's what the force is. The force is life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting point, because it does go back to when you say the current riots and some of the protests that we've had in this country. You weave that all back together, and it goes back to this point of the need to get along. And getting along becomes very, very important. So people are fighting for rights that will make them equal.
So I haven't watched after this. That was the extent of what I watched, because I was like, this is pretty cool stuff. I want everyone to know. And I think the video, when I watched it, I think it had like 15 or 1600 views. I think now it has 2000. And I hope you guys go there and you blow it up and, give it the attention it deserves, and you can watch it for yourself, make videos you want on it for yourselves. So we're gonna go ahead. I don't know how much more about Star Wars he talks about, or whatever it might be, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see what it's about. I'm gonna answer some of you guys' messages, and then we'll continue. George Deff had a long-term plan for Star Wars. Yeah, he did. Apparently, he had a treatment for all 12. That's right, 12. So basically, George wants us to create a Star. Pretty much. Well, it's so funny how he says things so kind of just stoically or candidly, like, well, eventually, the world's going to explode and it's just going to be a bunch of rocks. So, George Lucas, the genius of morality and mythology, not a mouthpiece for SJW nonsense, but a true visionary, compassionate artist and storyteller. Yeah, he has always, and that what he says about the politics in his films are timeless, like mythology. They give a construct, and that's something that Mark and I were talking about on Rule of Two, was that the politics that are put into Disney Star Wars, which he very curtly said that they're the first 6 are what he considers his, and now they're doing something completely different that obviously you could tell with that short answer that he doesn't really care much for. And he said this time and time again, and if you haven't heard it, well, you're hearing it now. But the thing I think with Disney Star Wars is that they import their politics that are not of a timeless era, but are very like a time slot. Like the issues today will be over 20 years from now. But George's politics that he put into his movies are timeless. And so I think that's something that they kind of missed the buck on, but it is what it is. George Lucas, now a voice I've not heard in a long time. Thank you for everything. We love you. I love you guys too, man. Seriously, I love this community and I love this channel and I love you all. We're almost getting on 5 years of the channel, and I'll be 31 in 7 days. So it's really a beautiful birthday gift to be able to continuously be here with you guys and almost embark on 3 million subs, which is stupid. Midichlorian is a powerhouse of the cell, and we will need them all if we want to live in a society. Yeah. What did Palpatine say? Galactic Empire. Man, I wish to listen to George all day. Thanks for sharing this general theory, Chosen One. Thanks, man. Yeah. It's great, dude. Yeah, there was still Potato on my Minecraft Discord actually tipped me off on this. This is really cool. I didn't even know about it. And no one knows about it. It's slept on. We're going to continue in a minute here. What do you want to see in the next Fallen Order game? We'll get on that in another video. I don't want to digress too much from this. And for any super chats I've missed, I'm going to read the rest. We need George more now than ever. Star Wars is slowly getting destroyed. Filoni and John are the only thing keeping it alive. I agree with that. Potato. All right.
Which is exactly the right thing to do. We've had many moments in world history where this has occurred. Unfortunately, we
renowned financial thinker into the future, and in terms.
So I'm a very strong believer that today it can be life-saving.
I don't mean to be disrespectful at all, to skip over what she's saying, but I just, for our discussion today, I just want to skip to the Star Wars centric parts of whatever George may have to say. So if you want to watch the full interview, I've linked it down below. You can go check it out.
Don't know how to read or write.
There we go.
Museum.
What that day is like.
Yeah, I'm sort of just being a hobby architect, building buildings, and at the same time working on a museum, which is a museum of narrative art.
Oh,
which is
yeah, this.
saying that ultimately art in the beginning and still tells a narrative of society. That's how people come together and have a common belief system, because in the beginning, and even a lot of places now, people don't know how to read or write. And so you can give speeches, but it doesn't resonate that much. But especially in ancient times, if you go into a city, they had statues of their heroes, they have mosaics of their religion, they had statues of the leader who's ever running the country. Those are all things that told people in a very emotional way, it's done emotionally, not intellectually, that this is who we are. And it's kind of a controversial idea, but I got it through anthropology and I believe in it. And so I'm building a museum that really is based on the aspirations of a society. And everybody says, well, you know, you got comics in there, comic art. I said, that's what people believe in the United States. And illustration, Norman Rockwell, Frida Kahlo. These are things that people believe in. That's what that's what their aspirations are. And so it sort of tells you a lot about a society. And so the museum I'm building is sort of a way of connecting with what the society believes in. It's especially, I think, relevant today when we're fracturing all that up. You know, in the end, it's, you know, I believe it's all got to come together and be homogenized because we're the.
His museum, if you didn't know, he's building a $4 billion museum in LA. I drove by the site of it a few years ago. The design is inspired by what looks like Padme's ship from Revenge of the Sith. It's
Human
pretty cool.
race.
I'll try to bring up an image of
We're
it.
not a bunch of separate races. We're one race. And the sooner we understand that and begin to accept the sort of eccentricity of other races and other societies, the more we'll grow and become smarter people, but also the conflict that we have will go away.
I know we're coming up on our time, so we want to be cognizant of.
Yeah, check this out. Check out this museum. That's what the museum looks like. George Lucas's Museum of Narrative Art. It looks like Padme's ship. It's pretty sweet.
That for you.
Yeah, out of respect to both of you, I'm reluctant to finish, but we'll do that. As I started out, you know, I am so grateful to Devin, and on a more kind of banal, well, not a banal level, but more visceral level, you crushed Lewis Hamilton. Not just because. I'm saying.
Can we get that? I'm gonna have to send that to him.
No, the dude was. I mean, he was amazing, Melody. He really was. But he's a babe in arms. You know, I mean, no, you really. I mean, your story is spectacular, but you also have a way to distill it through an amazing narrative ability. I think it's wonderful that George Lucas is putting together this museum on narrative. You spin a beautiful tale. So that's another reason why people love Melody Hobson. And
Can I
even
show
if
you
you
one
haven't
thing
cheated,
before we go? I'm going to ask someone's holding the camera. I want them to ask.
to the dark side on that, but
Okay.
you, Melody Hobson.
Are we going to another Star Wars question?
I'm sorry, I went to the dark side on that, but
George wants to say one thing.
yeah, it just an amazing day for all of us.
just
So
like to say
Catherine,
one thing,
you bring it back to Melody. She can say a few more words, and we'll fade out to silence.
Okay.
I'd like to just say one thing that is important for 12-year-olds, which was things that I was taught. I had a mentor who was a very wise man, and he said, "Go through life and follow your bliss," which means follow what you enjoy. And that's what I did. My father wanted me to go work in a store that he owned and become a merchant. I did not want to do that. And it was a big deal between us when I said, I'm going to go do something else. And I found by exploring through college and other things, what I love to do, which is to, ultimately I wanted to be an illustrator, then I wanted to be an anthropologist, and then I went to film school on accident. And basically found my bliss. I found the thing that I loved more than anything. It's much more important than going out and trying to get a job and we're the opposite. She likes to make money. That's her bliss. That's what I like, to make things and movies and things like that. When I started, nobody who was was in film school would get into the film business. It just was impossible. It was closed out to everybody. And fortunately, I came in the 60s when the people who started the studios were all 80, 90.
You guys see that? Him and his wife are different, he said, and yet they still get along. That can be a thing today. You can have different opinions.
So I got a break, but I was doing what I loved, and my friends who were also of that period were also doing what they loved, which is to make movies. None of us expected to make any money at it. We were lucky if we could even get a job. And we became very successful because we loved what we do. We loved it, and it makes life so much easier. And no matter what it is, if you're like to do pottery or like to write things, or you like to do whatever you want to do, if you enjoy it, you're halfway home. You will make money because you enjoy it, and that means you're good at it, and that means you'll make money. Yeah, you might not live in a giant place. Look, I've got a house. It's a giant house. It's too big. I never wanted a big giant house, but I got one now because I can afford it. But it's no different than a regular house. So if you do what you love, you will be able to make a living, you'll be able to eat, you'll be able to have a car, and you'll be able to live nicely, and you'll be happy.
Thank you so much for having us. Good luck. And
That's so cool, dude. It's such a cool interview, man. Just want to recap on the part where he discussed Star Wars again.
What I intended, but the first 6
Right there, where he talks.
Going off and it lost.
Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fights for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward?
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine, and
Gonna leave it on that. Yeah, if someone says their screen's glitchy, yeah. So the actual whole video is like this. It's not it's on my internet or anything. It's a broadcast. But if you want to watch the full interview, you can go ahead and do so. The link is down below. I learned a lot from this. I mean, I try to watch as many George Lucas interviews as I can because he's a visionary, man. I think he's like almost too smart for our age, and I feel like as the generations go on, we just kind of get dumber. You know, people just don't really take into. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little interview and what he had to say about Star Wars going forwards and his Star Wars and everything to do with his process of creating Star Wars and his life. And there are little tidbits that Melody spoke of. If you want to watch the full thing, the link is below. As I said, there are a few of you that sent some super chats. I appreciate it. Thanks. I've heard the same thing that George is saying now about comics, that was better when the executives knew they were out of touch than today, because they would stake money on innovative projects. Right, which kind of harkens back to just too many cooks in the kitchen. You know, let the cooks, the chefs, actually make the food, and not the people who think they know what's best, right? And that's something I've come to understand is quite real in Star Wars today, unfortunately. But it wasn't with George, and he even said this in many interviews, that he didn't care about the business side. He had people handling that, but he micromanaged the directing side and the story side, and that's what made Star Wars so great. And that's why today there's a big shift and difference, and it just doesn't feel the same. Just as he says himself. Look, even if George said, "I love what they're doing with Star Wars, I love the sequels," I'd still have an issue with them. Let alone the fact that he's just disinterested, and he says very candidly how he really feels about them. Go figure, you know. It's not a conspiracy. It's not anything else. It's, you know, is George, you know, sexist or racist for not enjoying the sequels? No, he just doesn't like them because they don't follow his storyline, and that's the same thing. Speaking for me, I feel the same way he does. Just like with Spielberg, George Lucas should do a movie about his younger self. I'd love that. And I fear that, I hope he's just not done with making movies. I hope one day that these secret movies that he's been making behind the veil, so to speak, will be one day seen by the public. It's something that I hope, and I hope it's not going to be, when he's gone. I hope he has decades and decades and upon decades more to live. And I hope one day I can say hi to him. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it's a dream. Could he just not use the museum? Well, he put $1 billion into the 4 billion, from what I read online, and then there were investors that put 3 billion into it. So many different investors. Yeah. George is heavily underappreciated. People don't understand him. They made fun of him and they bothered him. And I solely condemn them. I blame them for one of the main reasons he sold Star Wars. Wet my pants? You'll crap my pants. I don't even know what I'd be able to say. It would be amazing, to meet your childhood hero. He's changed my life in so many different ways. But enough about me. I agree. Yeah, the originals and prequels were my childhood too, man. I miss him too. He's, even just seeing this, and this was from over a year ago, even just seeing him talk about Star Wars and this is just, it's always nice. Look at all the love for George. If you got love for George, spam 1. Let me see it in chat. I wish there was more he could do. Yeah, there isn't much really, right? They're all the ones. They're my boys at. Cool. George was very progressive, actually. Yeah, he was, for sure. But he didn't, and he wasn't the type to, I don't know. I have never met him, but from what I gather from years of following his work and his interviews, I don't feel like he was the type to necessarily cancel you if you had a different opinion than him, My opinions and his opinions are very along the same path, I feel. But I just don't see him like canceling someone else just because they're maybe different or they believe different or something. I think the only differences me and him have is that I wouldn't wear as much plaid. That's pretty much it. Wesley, what's up, man? Happy you're in here. Hope you're still here, dude. I wonder how he feels about Luke's fear in the sequels, coming face to face with his fear with Kylo, overcoming losing control of the Jedi Temple. Well, I've spoken to people who are connected to him, connected to people who are very close to him, and those people told the person I was talking to that he absolutely despised what they did. So who knows if that's true? I mean, look, it is true. All right, let's just recap this for a second here.
Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fights for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward?
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
Enough said, right? Oh no, he's toxic. What? No, I'm just highlighting what the creator of the story said himself. So it's not toxic, just because this isn't your opinion. I can kind of hear the pain in his voice when it comes to talking about the new movies. Well, he just kind of treads over them, and he's, I think his whole thing. There was a whole part here where he was talking about how he is it's important to let go of things, which of course, harkens back to Anakin's story and the ability to let go all that you fear to lose, as Yoda said. But I think it's also very I think he's pulling from a lot of things in his own life, and I think something that he is learning to deal with, or is dealing with, or has dealt with, is letting go of Star Wars. So I feel like, and I think some of the best movies and stories are written by people who incorporate their own life struggles or issues or things they've learned into their literature, because it's first so much more real and it's more inspiring to them to create a story around something that they know so significant in their life, that it comes across as very authentic and real, and it doesn't seem forced or pushed or anything like that, and it happens in a very natural way, as it did in their own life, because life always finds a way, a natural way. Only 249 likes on the source video. We need to show them some love. 100%. Everyone, there's 3,000 of you here right now. I think there were about 4,000 when we were in the midst of it watching. Go on the main video link and just spam like. Show them some love. Maybe it'll get back to George, and the people who did that interview with him will be like, holy crap. And then George will see it and he'll be like, holy crap, maybe they actually really like to hear from me. I don't know, maybe more than he already knows. I think we need to wash out this taste in his mouth of that fans don't like him. I don't know if he knows how loved he is, but I feel like as each day passes, he is more and more and more adored by fans. And maybe it wasn't like that when the prequels came out for whatever reasons, because of some buttheads. But you know what? I was 9 years old when episode 1 came out, and it was my favorite movie. So the hell with people who don't agree. The hell with people who don't like him. It's not for them. It's for us. So show him support, show him some love. Go on the main video and spam like, comment that you love George, and maybe he'll do more of these interviews with those people, and we'll get more George, man. It's great. Maybe he'll do another one in a year. He's getting older, man. It's not like it's sad to say, but that's life. The original trilogy was my childhood. I love the prequels. George Lucas is the man, myth, and legend. Yeah. What's up, Maria? How would you feel about an episode 10, 11, and 12 fixing the sequels and introducing more Sith elements and lore, with Rey and Apostle Resurrected Ben Solo being challenged by that new Sith power? No, I kind of want to just leave. It's ruined for me, like they had that one shot. Well, they had 3 shots. They could have really fixed it in 7, 8, or 9, but they didn't. I feel like to fix it in 10, you got to bring in a whole new character in. You got to completely bypass maybe Rey's life, and you got to get a new character that comes in and maybe reads from her books, which are all teachings and passings of Luke's books. So in essence, it's Luke's teachings, which come from the Jedi themselves. But I'm not really interested that much in that era. I'm interested in the George Lucas era that he created, which was 1 to 6, and maybe a little bit after that, like what we have with The Mandalorian. So I think if they really capitalize on that and tell the stories as they're meant to be told, I think it'll be great. Want to play BF2 tonight? Can my son Thorn Aurelius get a shout out? Yo, Thorn Aurelius. Yo, what the hell, Aurelius? Marcus Aurelius. Shout out, dude. Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. Do you think George regrets selling to Disney? Yeah, I think so. Look, as he said, he doesn't give a crap about money. He said it right there. He's like, me and my wife are different. She likes to make money. I don't care. It was never, he doesn't give a crap about the money, dude. So, he's a story man. It's unfortunate that everything went out the way it did, but you got it, dude. I will be. Well, I don't think those are fans. I think those are just people who don't necessarily agree with other people's opinions. And it's unfortunate that you can't live in a world today with people who have differing opinions. It sucks, dude. It's whack. It's really whack. I don't agree with it. I mean, look at what George said about his own wife. He's like, she's different. Her and I are very different, but they're freaking married. It's weird, bro. Whatever. It's a weird world. True. Delete the sequels and do the original Thrawn trilogy. Yeah, dude, Heir to the Empire. But they won't, because it's a bunch of people that don't understand Star Wars that are just trying to milk it. And I know this now. You know, in the beginning, I thought it's... I don't know. There's no way... Hey, there's the man who actually sent me the link to this video. Thanks, dude. The whole point of Star Wars is don't be a jerk. Those aren't true Star Wars fans or just don't get it. Yeah. Oh, tell Pac-Man to say hi, dude. His legacy will live on for decades. His legacy will live on forever. And I just, you know, as long as I'm alive, I'll continue to show people that, you know, Star Wars is George Lucas and Star Wars is the Mandalorian, I would say. He has a heavy hand in that because he inspired Jon Favreau and he inspired Dave Filoni. And so I think anyone that's deeply inspired by this man to a true sense and doesn't want to throw their own ideologies and politics into it, I think, you know, they're going to make something that's akin to what he had created, which I think is great. But anyone who wants to, you know, kind of lick the lollipop and put it back on the shelf sort of thing, just to, you know, get their own word in, it's not right. Wow. Thank you, Cam. The hell? I remember when I was 7, Attack of the Clones came out, and I was already a Star Wars fan. I went with my dad to go see it, and I remember when Yoda pulled out his lightsaber and began to fight Dooku. Everyone got so hyped, and we were cheering and shouting Yoda. And oh, dude, I remember that scene in the theater, man. Oh my god, it was so sick with the Dolby Atmos and the just surround sound. Yoda just all of a sudden, or I guess with his right hand, and everyone just goes, ah! And I remember talking to my friends in school when that came out. I was in grade 7. Yeah. So you were 7 years old? I was, I think I was 12. Yeah. It was the summer of my, what do you call it? Your senior year in middle school, I guess? Or in elementary school? I don't know. Whatever. Your last year, and dude, it was so cool, man. It was so sick. It was such a great time. Everybody was talking about it. Everyone. It was a great time. Great time to be alive. George Lucas is one of the greatest minds on the planet. And that's something that I feel like, you know, for my generation, I got to live in the time where we got to see the prequels in theaters. We got to live up to the anticipation and expect it to come out and get the tickets and, you know, get the popcorn and go. And oh my God, dude. I remember going to the Phantom Menace at my local theater, and there were all these kids dressed up as Darth Maul, and I had a Darth Maul t-shirt ready to go, and I was wearing his cloak. And bro, I was just from all the like the not spoilers, but the merch that was being sold before the movie came out. It was amazing. It was amazing, dude. It was an indescribable feeling. It was like going to see one of the Harry Potter movies times 10. And I was a huge Harry Potter fan. Massive. So this is a cool time, man. Being at that age, going to Star Wars and Harry Potter movies was cool. Any thoughts on the Book of Boba and the new shows coming out under Dave Filoni versus Kathleen? I don't know about versus Kathleen, but anything Dave Filoni touches, I'm excited for. Imagine the shock if Darth Jar Jar was real. Right. Well, supposedly there was some sort of a thing that he was supposed to be. I don't know. Didn't Ahmed Best say something in a live stream somewhere? I never saw it. I only heard about it. So I can't confirm or deny. Excuse me. But essentially, there was a scene that wasn't shot, but was or maybe it was shot. It was between him and Palpatine about how Jar Jar was. There was more to his story, and that it was supposed to bring more clarity to the Darth Jar Jar theory. So I think maybe he was, you know, I don't know. Who knows? Have I seen this video of George Lucas explaining his story? I'll have to check that out later, man. Missed the video. Could you show it again? Also, you should watch The Chosen One by HFP. Best and contribute. Love your stuff. Keep it up, bro. Thanks, Kenneth. I put the link to the original video down below. You can go check it out. But I'm going to end the stream in a little bit, so you can rewind right now if you want or not. I lost my voice when Yoda fought Dooku, and I saw episode 6 with my dad when it was released. Wait, what? Really? Couldn't speak for 2 days. It was all. You saw episode 6 in theaters? Really? So back in what, 83? Damn, that must have been cool, dude. Yeah, like when I was talking, like my parents saw it in theaters, and I mean they were around obviously before episode 4 came out. And I remember my dad was the one who introduced me to Star Wars, and he told me that it was like the most amazing thing anyone had ever seen in the 70s. Like it was just it changed everything. Your outlook on space, on everything. And I believe him, man. It must have been pretty crazy. If Disney had followed not only George's outline, but the time taken between films, George took 3 years between films, and Disney shat them out like a crap dispenser. They sure did. Look, I'm quite aware of the idea that Disney bought this thing to really milk the crap out of it and make as much money as they could. And whenever you get something like that, meddling in a creative process that usually takes passion and time, it's never going to be great. You know, look at the Transformers films. They're visually appealing, but are you ever going to be like, wow, that was an amazing movie. It really touched me deeply. No, it's entertaining. It's cool. It's fun. But beyond that, it's nothing, you know? But with Star Wars, back with what they did in the 70s and the early 80s, special effects were next to none, and compared to today, but yet it left such a deep resonation within all of our souls that here we are, however many years, 40 years later, over 40 years later, being able to talk about it. I mean, I have a career talking about Star Wars, like, and there are so many hundreds of other people's on the internet talking about Star Wars, you know, websites, articles, some of them genuine, some of them, many of them very disingenuous. But at the end of the day, it just shows you how huge this franchise is, that you can have third-party people merely talking about this stuff and having an entire full-fledged career about it. That's how big this empire is that George created. It's quite monumental, I gotta say. Obviously, Jar Jar was a Sith because he rose up to power just like Palpatine. Seeing A New Hope in 1977. Oh, damn, dude, we got an OG. I've been looking up ever since. That's cool, dude. You know, I think it's so amazing that I got to see the prequels in theaters. I wonder what it must have been like for you guys with the original trilogy. My first childhood memory was when I saw 5 and seeing episode 6 in the theater. Oh, my God. This was so cool. Hey, so is it true that there was, in the first week that episode 5 was ever released back in 1980, was it true that it was actually taken out and then they put it back in with like some new version or something? There was like a new ending or something like that. What was this original ending? I'm very curious. Very, very curious. They needed to actually make DJ a Sith who served Palpatine and end The Last Jedi with him landing on Exegol, introducing Palp for the 3rd movie. Oh, that would have been kind of cool. Yeah, after the hour of Canto Bight. Yes, I'm 46. Oh, I couldn't tell from your photo. Thought you were around my age. Keeping well. Could I ask someone who was alive during those times? It wasn't that long ago. I mean, I was 1990, so. Sequel trilogy proves that an amazing story with deep character development is vital for success. Can't just rely on the coolness of the world that Lucas created. Right, and I think, you know, something a lot of people talk about is like, wow, you know, The Force Awakens broke a lot of records. It made so much money. Dude, they could have made someone peeling an egg and title it Episode 7, The Force Awakens. People would have still bought a movie ticket for it. You know, this is the return of Star Wars. That number has nothing to do with an original idea or anything. As we saw, it was just the return of Star Wars since George Lucas had touched it, since Episode 3. Those tickets were going to fly regardless. So, It's not a testament as to how great Episode 7 was. It was just the fact that they put the label Star Wars on it. And that's how it is with anything. As I said, like I have a career about talking Star Wars, and so many other people have careers talking Star Wars or you know, whatever. And you put Star Wars on something, it's going to sell. That's how huge this thing is. And it all comes from the emotions that are elicited from this movie. You know, it's not like it's a product or like you know, like a gadget or anything. Or everyone wants to be a part of this magical experience because of how it brings us all together and how special it is. You know, and I think that's something that these boardroom executives really miss. Like, how can we capitalize this the most? It's like, no, how do you continue the story? That's how you capitalize on it. My grandfather took me to see Episode 1 when I was 6. Cool, man. So we're 3 years apart. So you must be 28, almost. I'll be 31 on the 21st. I have a friend that thinks George Lucas ruined Star Wars and thinks Disney sequels saved Star Wars, and he generally hated The Mandalorian. It baffles me every time. Yeah, well, that's his opinion, and everyone's got their own opinion, and that's great. Who am I to say that that's invalid just because I don't agree with it, you know? And vice versa. Thank you, love. I was 44 in that picture, so yeah, I appreciate the compliment. Star Wars is a religion, and it's mostly about the feelings it spurs. Absolutely. Yeah, hey, keep being young. You're doing great. Crazy how time flies. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I'm like talking about going to see the prequels, and I'm like, I still feel like I'm a teenager. It's strange, but maybe that's, you know, going to keep me young someday. Some opinions can be wrong. No, I don't think so. I think all opinions are opinions. They're just, they may not resonate with the values that you have, and that's okay. But it doesn't make them any more valid or invalid. Everyone's just got their own opinion, and that's cool. Yeah, I turned 28 next Sunday. We have the same birth. What? We have the same birthday? Get the hell out of here, bro. Really? That's kind of cool. Let me remove this so I can look at you guys. Look at you all in the eyes. Head on. I'll be 40 on the 21st. Happy birthday, man. Damn, anyone else here March 21st, baby? Yo, if you're left-handed and your birthday is March 21st, type 1 right now. We have to be blood brothers or something. I was going to say, and if your blood type is the same as mine, which I don't really know what it is. Get the hell out of here, bro. That many? I think some of you are lying. No, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 8, 9, 10. 10 people here have birthdays March 21st and are left-handed. Get the hell out of here. No way. Get the hell out of here. Sequels are great. I'm glad you like them, Pedro. Can't help but ask myself, why comment when you only read super chats? Isn't that ironic? Your comment's not a super chat. But I do prioritize the people who pay. Absolutely. Could you imagine if I didn't? How mad they would be? They'd be even more entitled than you. Turning 21 on the 20th. Couldn't be more excited. 21 was a cool year, man. You know, I feel like my cognition, my intellectual ability, and my overall ability to just see the world and douse my ego has really shifted from age, I'd say 26 to 30. So it's kind of it's nice. You see the world in such a different way. I'm a 21st baby too, but September 21. What the hell? Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Turning 21 on the 20th. That's crazy. You guys are all freaking 21 babies here. I'm good, man. How are you doing? Birthday's on Tuesday, turning 36. Happy birthday, dude. November 11th, 1982, same as Leo DiCaprio, only I'm younger. Nice. I saw some Leonardo DiCaprio impersonator on TikTok. He's Happy early birthday, bro. Thanks, man. 2 Star Wars nerds. Appreciate it, guys. Yo, happy 21st to all of you here. That's dope. I hope I didn't miss any opinions from a certain point of view, you may say. Opinions from a certain point. Opinions on what? Reese. Opinions on the book from a certain point of view? It's a cool book. I love your videos, man. I just wanted to send you some money to help out. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Mr. Skywalker. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird getting older. But I feel like as I get older, I really only get younger. It's I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I feel good. My first exposure to Star Wars was Revenge of the Sith game. I was 6 when I saw A New Hope, so when Empire came out, I was the first in line and sat front row with my best friend. I don't remember them taking it out or an alternate ending, at least not in Texas. Oh, okay. Interesting. So maybe that was just a BS article. I'll be 40 on the 21st. Turn 28 next Sunday. Played with Return of the Jedi figures in the sandbox. Love. Cool, Mr. Reborn. My grandfather took me to see episode 1 when I was 6. Yeah, I'm just going through these because I know I missed a few. I don't want to miss you guys' stuff. Your birthday is 12 minutes away in Germany. Ah! Herzlichen Glückwunsch. What was it? Herzlichen Glück something Geburtstag. German used to be my first language and I forgot it. I'm March 1st too, going to be 27 this year. Yo, sick, dude. Shout out to my bros. If the question and the craziness of the world eventually calms down and we can have conventions, would you accept a lightsaber duel challenge? I don't know, man. Some of you guys, like, I remember I went to Comic-Con and I was dressed up as Boba Fett with my buddy Dupree, who was dressed up as Vader. And this dude, like, all of a sudden comes up to me and just starts like slashing the hell out of me with his lightsaber. I'm like, what the hell? And that was before I showed my face, so no one really knew who I was, but I fear for my life now. Should they cancel the High Republic? No. There are people who enjoy it. What's your fave scene in the whole of Star Wars? Probably when Anakin was going to save his mother. That or when Luke was looking out to the tree at the end of Return of the Jedi. To the Force Ghosts. You think George is embarrassed by having his name still in the credits of 7, 8, 9 with the original characters created by George Lucas? I don't think he cares. Yeah, I don't think it matters to him, man. Am I still making a YouTube workshop video, like to make a Star Wars channel, but the community can be toxic just for having a different opinion? That's the main thing holding me back. Dude. Yeah, don't let that hold you back. If anything, you should think of it like you have nothing to lose, right? And the good part is that people will always... There are people on both sides. So if you love the sequels, you'll have a major fandom. If you hate the sequels, you'll have a major fandom. So it's and then you'll have the people in between who are level-headed and can appreciate a video or someone who has differing opinions than them, as long as they aren't, a jerk about it or toxic. Do you have any updates on Jake Lloyd? No. I wish him the well. Turned 21 last month. Any Star Wars themed drinks? No, I don't drink. Yeah, I don't drink. I did my drinking in like my early 19 to 22 and, your typical college years. And I'm over it. You should produce for some streaming a documentary about George Lucas, the real chosen one, his dream success in his life after learning of letting go. I don't know if I'm qualified to do that. I don't know. I'll be 52 in July. My dad took me to the cinema to see episode 4 and the queue wrapped outside of the building 3 times over. Yeah, that's what he created. Still right. So yeah, I could do that workshop video. I'll do that on my gaming channel. Okay. So go subscribe to Theories Arcade and I'll do that over there. What's your personality type? I'm INFJ, same as Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn. Really surprising to see what characters I'm similar to. Also happy 21st. I don't know what INFJ is. Similar to Yoda and Qui-Gon. I think I'm a cross between Qui-Gon and Anakin. Somewhere in there. Yeah. I don't know. I got enough personalities to keep anyone occupied. Nah, it's a joke. Green. Many great stories are polarizing. Star Wars is a great example of how two people can see the same thing and have two entirely different takes on it. Yeah, I agree with that. Look, it's important to have your opinions on things, but it's very important to not be dogmatic about them and to get angry or triggered if someone has different opinions than you, even if those people are trying to really push it on you, or be vulgar, or make fun of the people who like or don't like. Who cares? It's irrelevant. It's whatever. Like, people made fun of me all the time for liking the prequels when I was growing up, and that was when it was out, and they were like, "Oh, you don't know Star Wars. You're not a Star Wars fan." It's like, F you, dude. A huge Star Wars fan. It's like, you can't try to invalidate my love for something just because it differs from your opinion. That's ridiculous. Big fans over here, man. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Flora. Thank you, guys. Okay, well, I think we killed it on this stream. I think we had a good talk, good laugh, and yeah, I wish you guys all the best. I mean, I'll see you tomorrow for Nerd Theory, and then tonight I'm going to be streaming, and I'm going to go over the gaming channel and stream really soon too, and we can hold that workshop. I'll be 20 in July. Happy early birthday. Thanks. Happy birthday to you too. As an apology for Pablo's behavior, Disney should cast you in the canoe as a clone trooper walking alongside Anakin during Order 66. Yeah, if we get that scene, I'm gonna lose my doo-doo, okay, or it's gonna be crazy. If we get that scene, and no, I don't want any special. I would feel weird. I feel like a heel. I don't want that. I just want him to treat fans respectfully, and for him to grow up and not be such a literal man baby. Who's the most powerful Jedi in your opinion? Max power, Anakin. Mace Windu's pretty strong. Yoda, but Yoda was limited by his. Judge me by my size, do not. He's limited by his size. So, damn right I am. Damn right. 100%. And proud, baby. In other words, don't be a jerk and embrace the true message of Star Wars. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and don't use your position of power to, be a doo-doo. Be a doo-doo head. Nice. Congratulations. It's great. Online. If I'm in the middle of Anakin and Qui-Gon, then you are Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I suppose. I'm Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker is like probably the closest to my. Yeah. Say I fluctuate between Anakin and Luke sometimes, and Qui-Gon. So. No. There you go. Thanks, man. Mandalorian Luke. Yeah, but I mean, the Luke I know the most is Return of the Jedi Luke. We only saw Luke in the Mando for a little bit, so would love to see more. Doing good, man. Just chilling. Yeah, chilling with my favorite crew here. What's up, man? I think it's an era that should be extrapolated upon and turned into films, and I hope Taika Waititi is taking the helm. Why do I got 35 dislikes? I don't know. People dislike me. People also like me. It's just the way it is. Either way, do you? Why did some people didn't like the prequels? I liked them also, especially. You can't try to analyze why someone did or didn't like something. I mean, I could see their opinions on things. I know the opinions on people who love The Last Jedi. They just don't follow my beliefs, those opinions. So, Cobra Kai question. I have a black belt in Okinawan Karate, aka Miyagi-Do. The Karate Kid made an impression on me back in the 80s. Me too. And Star Wars got me into sword fighting. Do you practice anything? Yeah, so I love the question, the Cobra Kai question. So I was put into kickboxing and karate when I was 3.5, 4, while I was on chemo. And I did it up until I was about like 12 or 13. And then got into my dad's martial art. He learned he learned from the masters of in Aikido. And I went to his class when I was about 13 until I was like 17, 18, something like that, 16, 17, and learned more Aikido, but I was learning it through my whole life with, he was my dad. So there was that. And I did some MMA when I got older and just kept up with boxing as like a cardio. But yeah. Do you think George Lucas is a Christian? Yeah, maybe. I was watching. Well, no, he said he's what do you say? He's a Buddhist. He's a, what do you say in the interview? He was like a very lukewarm Buddhist or something like that, Californian Buddhist. I was watching an earlier stream where someone asked about your favorite line from Revenge of the Sith, and you didn't say hello there. Right? Yeah. You got to realize when the Revenge of the Sith came out, hello there wasn't really a meme at that point. It was just whatever. And then the Clone Wars came out and all that, and then it started to become a meme. So for us who went and saw it in theaters, it wasn't a meme until more so now, where the internet's more prevalent. But back then it was there were just so many different theories on the internet regarding the high ground. I felt like it was like people were, from what I saw, trying to understand how Obi-Wan could have the advantage that he had, and so simply, kill Anakin, which of course later we all theorize and understand that, yeah, the high ground really was what ended him, because he tried to kill. The poetic part about it is that Anakin tries to kill Obi-Wan in the same way that Obi-Wan killed Maul, and as a way of kind of saying, hey, like, I'm so much better than you, I'm going to use your own move to defeat you. Which of course didn't work. So there's so many little nuances and little Easter eggs in Star Wars that people don't really understand or don't see. It takes like years and years of you researching and watching and reading and stuff to really kind of figure it out. Do you think the armor is Rook cast? I think so, and got injured in the Siege of Mandalore. Bo shot her in the face, and she will want revenge for that. She could be, but I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. So many theories. Can theory theorize? If a theory could theorize, just flapping gums. Love you, brother. Thanks, Starvel. Starvel Mar Wars? That's kind of cool. I love that name. Nobody is loved by everyone, but that's okay. Lots of people from all sorts of places. It would be boring if we all thought the same. He's doing great. Oh, yeah, man. Look, I mean, it's whatever. Let me tell you something funny about my channel is when I was up and coming, wait, what? Hold up, what is this? Yeah, anyways, this is a stupid comment. Yeah, something funny about my channel is that when I was up and coming, everyone was like, oh, Star Wars Theory is such an underrated channel. He's so slept on. He's so so good and so genuine. Then when you get to this point where you're now the biggest Star Wars channel, I'd say the biggest Star Wars medium on the internet, almost pushing over the actual official Star Wars channel, which is weird. People, are they see you in a more defensive light. They're like, oh, he's overrated. Oh, it's you're not the underdog anymore, man. You're all of a sudden you're like this villain, and I'm the same dude, man. Whether I have literally 1,000 subs or 3 million subs almost, I'm the same guy, and I haven't changed. If anything, I've become more humble because I realized subs don't mean anything. It's just your ability to reach more people and talk. That's it. That's probably the funniest thing I've noticed. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's life. Been here from the start. What are your feelings on Revan? He's one of my all-time fave. I'd love to see him in a movie and played by Keanu. I think that'd be sweet. Maria, what's up? What are some of the first things you'll tell your kids about Star Wars and why it's meant so much to you? I won't say anything. I'm just going to show them the movie. I'm going to show them episode 4. And I'll just, I'll probably record their reactions. Yeah. Whenever I have kids, I don't know when that'll be. Don't know. The problem is Anakin didn't see Obi-Wan kill Maul, so I'm still confused. He did, actually. So in the comics, it was written that so Anakin was, like, before episode 2, he was fighting a droid in the Jedi Temple that was made to look, to be a hologram like Darth Maul. And I've covered this in one of the comic videos. And up above on the balcony are Palpatine, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Mace Windu says to Kenobi, he's like, "Is that?" And then Obi-Wan's like, "Yes, the Zabrak from Naboo," or whatever. And he's like, "Anakin's been relentlessly asking me about the Zabrak and how I killed him and so many details and this and that." So Anakin had been trying to basically program the droid in the same fighting mechanics that was Darth Maul's and to look like Darth Maul and everything as a way to, show that he is better than Obi-Wan even at that young age. So it all kind of comes full circle. Those are comic things though, right? So George Lucas was raised Methodist Protestant Christian, but as an adult he leans towards Buddhism. Josh is kind of in Zen Buddhism, right? Yeah, so he says. During the siege, I think she was in the vanguard, and it was legit first thing that happens. Bo runs in with dual pistols and shoots a rook. Look. Really? I don't know. I don't remember that. I'd be curious to see if that was true. "35-year-old Star Wars." Yo, Rob, what's up, dude? How's the baby girl doing? 35-year Star Wars fan here. George is right. Let the sequels go. Don't care who's making Star Wars. Just create good stories. That's all I want. 100%. Thanks for dropping in, man. Who'd want to fight, Darth Revan or Mace Windu? If Mace Windu's in the dark side, I think if Revan's in the dark side, I think Mace Windu. "I'm 13 and I see my friends and generation as a whole make fun of me for liking Star Wars and they think it's dumb, and I wish they would appreciate this masterpiece." Appreciate it on your own, man. You remind me of myself when I was 13. I got made fun of all the time for liking Star Wars. I was a Star Wars fan at age 6, and I was the type of person that if I thought something was amazing, I would talk about it all the time, and I would, funny enough, you get made fun of for that kind of stuff, especially in the 90s and the early 2000s. But it wasn't cool. But I mean, kids at that age don't know their head from their ass. So what they deem as cool or socially cool is it's all just based out of fear of their own minds of what they think is accepted in society or in high school, or what makes them dateable or whatever. And it's bullshit. Who cares what they think? At the end of the day, when all the smoke settles and clears, it's just you that's standing there and nobody else. So life is short. Enjoy what you love. enjoy what you enjoy, and that's all that matters, really. And find people who are like-minded and enjoy what you like, and won't judge you or be a jerk to you. Got a special video for coming out next Sunday. Cool. Thanks. I'm not. He sucks and hates on the sequels. I wouldn't say I hate on them. I just genuinely don't like them for reasons that I've explained in videos. But yeah, anyways. I wouldn't be interested in a live-action Clone Wars because the story has been told. The story's been told, but I feel like they could tell it in so many different ways and stuff like that. And it would be cool to see Anakin in the gear, right? In the Clone Wars gear. A3, my dad wants to tell. My dad, he wants to tell you something, and he said this: I have some Star Wars cards for 41 years to sell. How much would those collector cards cost? I don't know. Oh, the 501st? Cool, man. That's great. My buddy's in the 501st. Ow. Trolls don't bug me anymore. I feel bad for the guy with the special videos. So awkward. Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, well, I mean, look, I get those kind of messages a lot every day. And sometimes I don't know what those videos are. Could be bad, could be good. Great, thanks. All I can do is my part and continue on my path. And anyone who wants to make a video, that's great, man. Cool. I mean, what do you want me to do? Backflips? Like, sweet. Appreciate it. I don't have friends that consider you as my friend, though. Thanks, man. Just want to say you don't suck. Thanks, dude. Favorite mall line? At last we'll reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we'll have revenge. Can I do backflips? No, I can't. It's a video wishing me happy birthday. Oh, thanks, man. See, that's nice. See, there's a lot of videos I've seen of myself when people say, I'm making a video about you. It's yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, you find them full. Yeah, they're interesting. So it is what it is. So I'm just skeptical. All I say now is just like, cool, thank you. Like, what else can you say? People are saying that all the time, right? It's nothing personal. Just put yourself in my position, right? It's just how it is. Member stream was fire. Love you from Egypt Dog. Yo, love you too, Shade. Thanks for chilling, man. Yeah, we got to do a member stream. I was gonna do one tonight. We could do Battlefront on PS4. That'd be fun. I wonder if we'll do it tonight or if we'll do it either tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll figure it out. I'm not going anywhere. Keep going. I feel like the stream's coming to an end, no? Gotta say, meeting you at Star Wars Celebration 2019 was a blast. Yo, Star Wars theory is so chill. Dude, thanks, Gavin. I can't put a face to your scuba picture, but it was great meeting you too, because I didn't meet anyone that was a jerk at Celebration, which was great. I'm haunted by the kiss he should never have given me. Love you guys. It's so funny. I got some new merch, by the way, for everyone here at the very end. If you want to check it out. Talent without training is nothing. And for all of you who want to become a YouTuber, just remember, this is what we are. We are all just ticks. All right? Don't forget. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you were chilling out with me, and I feel like this video was great. We got to hear George from what I think is the most recent interview that we've had from him. I'd love to see more. So go blow up that original link and show them some love, and maybe comment that, hey, we want to see more of George, and maybe it'll happen, dude. I mean, I know he's not really online very much, but his son is. So who knows, man? Oh, wow, cool. Thanks. Oh, guys, come on, stop. I don't. Stop, no, please. Did you know that Carrie Fisher was apparently a script doctor on the Star Wars prequels? What do you mean? Really? For the guy's dad with 41-year-old Star Wars collector cards, people are selling Star Wars cards from the 1970s on eBay for between $4,000 and $9,000. What? Jesus. Depending how, pristine they are, right? No, I didn't have a PlayStation 2 at the time. I want to tell you that you're a big inspiration for me and showed me that I'm not the only one with the love for Star Wars. You're amazing and a huge inspiration to me and my little brother. Thank you, Matt. If I can help in any way, that's very meaningful to me. Because, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager and the prequels were coming out, there was this online forum that I was a huge member of, and I was active on it literally like 24/7. And that's where I met my best friend. That's where I got to basically be part of a community that I didn't have. And my community for Star Wars was online, where I got to meet a lot of friends throughout the world that shared the same sort of interest that I had with Star Wars, because, kids are idiots and they like to make fun of you for things. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it other than my dad. But, you want people your own age or whatever to just talk about Star Wars with. And so, I'm happy that I could at least, funny enough, maybe pay it back and, have pay it back like I'm doing now, which is great. So first watched Empire as an outside theater on a cliff, a Navy base at night overlooking the ocean, starry night sky. Back in the 80s, of course. Dude, that must have been absolutely ridiculously amazing. I can't imagine. I feel like the times before now were much better. I feel like today's world is just strange. Don't know how to explain it. I'm not interested. No opinion. I don't watch that crap. Sometimes. Yeah, so I'm going to go eat some food. I'm going to watch some Dragon Ball Super. I'm on episode, I think, 37. I'm loving it. And shout out to my Dragon Ball channel, Dragon Ball Theory. Going to have a video coming soon. I think there's like 1,000 subs on there now already, which is pretty sweet. Thanks, guys. I love you all. I'll catch you in a little bit. I hope I read all the Super Chats. I might have missed a few. I'm very sorry if I did. But hopefully, you can ask him as a regular one tomorrow in Nerd Theory's podcast, and we'll figure it out. Love you all. Catch you later. Go check out the link below with the full interview, and I hope you have a great day.